Welcome to the library automation session of this particular module, where we are going to discuss retroconversion and barcoding in libraries. Retroconversion happens to be a very significant component for library automation. We know that at different point of time, library has started their automation process, and some of its collection has yet to be automated or digitized rather. So, at any point of time, we find a certain amount of work requires to be started retrospectively. That's why we call it retroconversion, conversion from the printed catalog towards the digital version of the catalog or machine readable catalog. So, in this session, we are going to discuss not only the barcoding or RFID aspect, radio frequency identification aspect of library cards as well as library collection, and we are going to discuss different conversion process, how we can accommodate our library collection to our future digitization process. In this particular module, we are trying to address not only retroconversion or barcoding or RFID, besides that some other aspect of machine readable catalog and its compositions also we need to address in this particular session. Retroconversion process of converting manual catalog records into machine readable format. Machine readable, this particular term could be considered as a misnomer rather. Not only machine readable, but it is machine processable also. And barcoding is just a technology for encoding information into machine readable levels. Say for example, we could convert our accession number into a barcode. We could convert even some other unique number for our collection, for our service into barcodes. So, barcode is one of the significant part of the retroconversion. Now, coming to the point, what is the significance of retroconversion? So, retroconversion basically facilitates automated catalog management. Unless the total catalog is available in a digital format, we cannot implement it with the help of software. We can only circulate our collection if the database is available with us, database of the users, database of the documents, as well as the circulation information at what point of time when somebody has taken a particular document and when that document is going to be returned. So, it enables the participation, and in global bibliographic networks, different kinds of collaboration and its utilization is possible with the help of the retroconversion. Retroconversion, unless it is implemented, retroconversion probably is going to hamper the total library automation process. Now, the barcoding technology, which has a great application in libraries, we must have to check whether to what extent we can accommodate barcoding for our library purpose. So to find out the areas in which the barcode technologies are being implemented in the libraries, and to create awareness of the working mechanism of barcode technology, and to identify the merits and demerits of using barcode technology in libraries, we have to undergo some discussion in this respect. So the entire study which requires the effectiveness of barcode technology in the library, this particular discussion we are going to make, and some historical aspect also would be there, where barcode is invented in 1948 by Bernard Silver, and in 1960s RCA develops a number of profitable applications until the patent expires in 1969. We have observed that barcode is given to different products in different departmental stores where we go for our purchasing, and they usually apply barcode to identify a particular article, its price, and all the informations are embedded into the computer. In 1971, IBM engineer George J. Laurer, he builds a Woodlands ideas to develop a universal product code, and that is the modern black and white striped barcode. After examining a variety of different marking systems, Hebman's Grocery Stores Committee settles that IBM rectangular UPC as the standard grocery barcode. Then slowly in 1979 in the UK, a barcode scanner is used for the first time at key markets in Spalding at Lincolnshire. 2011, Joe Woodland and the late Bernard Silver are initiated into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in recognition of their brilliant invention, and that is what recognized in 2011. Usually there are two types of barcode. One is one-dimensional and other is two-dimensional. ID or one-dimensional barcode is used in normal products like groceries, pen and electronic equipments, etc. But two-dimensional, it's a similar to one-dimensional barcode, but it can store more data per unit areas as compared to the one-dimensional, and we must have seen the use of two-dimensional barcode in the Paytm app at different places. Barcodes are nothing but some parallel bars in black and white stripes, like zebra-like look we can find it, but it has a very close look into it. We'll identify that some codes are embedded in it. Say for example, code 39, then there are specific amount of black and white stripes of it, and that again is compared to 0 and 1, this of binary digit. Where we find 0, that means the black stripe attracts the total light energy, that's why no reflection from that place totally consumes by that place, that becomes 0, the data becomes 0. So a barcode has 95 blocks for each barcode, and barcode is transcribed in the 12 blocks out of 95 blocks. These 12 blocks are known as named as left guard, center guard and right guard. But if we look into the system, we have that there are actually several information embedded in it. The, say for example, number system character, manufacturer number, center bars, item number, check digit, etc. The binary digits are sent to a computer attached to the scanner, which identifies the code as 1, 1, 0 and so on. In some scanners, there is a single photoelectric cell, and as we move the scanner head past the product, the cell detects each part of the black-white barcode in turn. In more sophisticated scanners, there is a whole line of photoelectric cells, and the entire code is perceived in one go. Entire code that would be perceived or deciphered the data in one go. In reality, scanners do not detect zeros and ones and produce binary numbers as their output. They detect orders of black and white stripes, orders, that which one comes first, then which one, whether black starts first, then white, or white starts first, then black, and so on. As we have shown here, some of the conversion, you can find barcode and its application in different libraries also. It's mainly suitable for supporting the circulation function. Most of the cases we find in circulation, user comes very quickly and they don't want to wait at the circulation desk. So the library personnel who are working there, they simply take the document from them, and using the scanner, they detect the barcode, what is assigned to that particular document, and the data is fed into the computer. And at the same time, they also catch hold of the barcode which is assigned to the borrower's identity card, and that matches to that particular document. So we can apply it very efficiently at the circulation desk, but as well we can also apply for the inventory and periodical control, and can also be carried out effectively and efficiently, and users can submit his or her identity cards and library cards, as well as staff can see the barcode available in the identity card with a barcode scanner and access the borrowing status. If the barcode system allows the borrowing facility, the library staff can also see the document's accession number and can be used to user comfortably within the few seconds. That can also be applied for verification of number of books available in the library, which books is missing from the library, and most importantly, there is less chance of error, which is more important for any library, because if manually we have to go through the accession number of it, that is time consuming, and just input of that data takes quite a long time, as we have to type it with the help of our keyboard. So basic requirements for barcode application in the library is some hardware as well as to some software also. One is of course personal computer, and then barcode printing software is essential, barcode printer is essential. Barcode printing software, unless it is there, we cannot print the barcode. So barcode printer is different from the day-to-day printer. Then barcode scanner is essential, that is a hardware tools. Decoder is essential because we have to decode the number, from the scanner scanned devices to the black and white stripes, and library management software, and then membership database also, because members also have a unique identification number, and we can conveniently convert that number into our barcodes. And bibliographic database of library users also can attach barcode to them. So barcode technology can be used effectively in the acquisition section for accessing documents. When a library obtains a new book, it has to be given a serial number which is called the accession number, and information about the book such as title, author, subject, keywords, etc. has been recorded after assigning the accession number. So, accession number indicates about the details of the document. Barcode manually matching with the accession number is created. Afterwards, barcode labels are printed and pasted at the specified spine of the books. Usually, spine of the book is used for this purpose. The reason being, if it is front side or back side, then it is difficult to identify that particular document from the stack. That's why it is usually inserted or pasted in the spine of the book. Entered bibliographic data helps in identification of book through barcode. In almost all library automation software, there are two options. One is system generated barcode or user defined barcode. And for membership identification, with the help of barcode technology, library staff can identify the membership status of a user. For that barcode, it is to be printed on the library membership card also, because membership number or user identification number is converted to the barcode. The barcode then will be scanned by the barcode scanner and the data will be transferred through library management software, and in which database that has to be stored, that has to be done. So, for the circulation, two barcodes to be scanned, one is from document and another from the borrower's identity card. The accession number of the book or study material, whatever, not only book, maybe CD or other kind of document also, are to be converted into barcode and has to be pasted inside the document and or the study material. Library staff in the circulation section can easily scan the barcode and can issue or return the book to the users in a quick time. Most importantly, the transaction is error free. Library attendance system also can be converted to barcode system, where we can also use to monitor the entry and exit time in the library. One barcode scanner has to be set up at the entrance of the library. Every time when the user comes to the library, they need to scan the barcode available in their library membership card, which will automatically take the attendance and which can later be downloaded in the Excel file. So, throughout the day, we can keep track of the user's visit or footfall to the library. Issue of no dues certificate also can be done with the help of this barcode. No dues certificate is issued when any member leaves the organization or has been transferred from this organization to another organization, and that's why it is cancelled. Then the library issues no dues certificate. This process is quite time consuming and error prone in a manual system, but in a computerized system, just browsing or scanning the barcode of the user's membership card, one can identify that how many documents he or she has borrowed or yet it is holding in his name. So, the automation package will search the database for any document issued to his or her name, and if nothing is due, so no due certificate will be printed. Otherwise, he or she will be asked to return those documents and then only no due certificate will be issued. So, it is far more easier, straightforward, and with the help of the barcode technology, user service can be provided very fast. Inventory and periodical control, that is another important area for the periodicals control system. The primary task is to develop a database of periodicals and then assign code numbers for each periodical. Each periodical record may contain information such as title, volume number, year of publication, frequency, publisher, price, etc., even country of publication and so on. The database may be updated periodically. For each periodical, barcode is created and based on the code number pasted on the lower card maintained for each periodical in the codex system. That is earlier manual codex system. We were using this one, but at present nowadays in modern software like Koha, and other BTLS kind of software, we don't have that sort of provision. Periodicals, we do manage it directly with the help of our integrated library management software. But earlier, traditionally, in the codex, we were fixing barcode. When a particular issue is received, its respective barcode is scanned for months and issue numbers also. So, we need not have to manually check that. Another important use of barcode is for stock verification. It's a cumbersome, time-consuming process for any library, and stock verification is very unwieldy, and with the help of barcode, the library professionals can easily check the stock of the library. So, earlier, say for example, few years together, library professionals never used to venture for stock verification. But now with the help of barcode reader, they can check it even twice in a year also. It is possible for a small collection. By further dispensation, library staff may know about books issued, books sent to the binding section, and so on. But subsequently, the software will generate a list of missing books which has not been traced from, either has not been given to the binding section nor issued to a particular person. So, the advantages of barcode technology in the library is very much obvious, and it is really significant. Barcodes eliminate the possibility of human error in the circulation section of the library. Barcodes are inexpensive to design and print. Generally, they cost mere pennies only, and regardless of their purpose, very frugal, I mean cheaper to implement in our library arena. And control of library collections improves. Extremely, it is versatile. It can be used for any kind of necessary data collection in the library, as well as I have mentioned, like users footfall also we can maintain with the help of a simple barcode scanner and barcode of the users in the user's identity card. Data obtained through barcodes are available rapidly since the information is scanned directly into the server, and ultimately barcodes promote better decision making because the data is obtained rapidly and accurately. So, with the help of this data, the authority may decide what kind of or future action we could take for the benefit of the library or for the efficient functioning of the library. But having so many advantages, there are a few disadvantages also for the barcode technology. They are very labor intensive and they must be scanned individually. Barcodes are more easily damaged as the line of sight is needed to scan. Even mitigation is possible by the user themselves. They sometimes, though librarians, they put a plastic cover over that barcode, but sometimes still barcodes provide some sort of deficiency while scanning because the white stripes may convert it to little dark, and that sometimes gets confused while scanning process. So, if a barcode is ripped or damaged, there is no way we can scan the library material, and restricted traceability is there and susceptible also. So, we have to generate barcode with the open source software in Ubuntu, the glabels, we call it glabels in open source software in Ubuntu. Ubuntu is basically a open source operating system and multi-user operating system in Unix environment. In order to generate barcode, we have to first install glabel software. It runs only in Linux, and then this software is free in nature and can be used for this purpose, and barcode can be generated with CSV file and easily on different size and levels, and then again we can just fix it into the spine of the books. So glabels, we have, for using these glabels, there are certain steps. I will just tell you some simple commands like sudo command is there, super users command, sudo space apt-get, then space install, then space, then glabels, glabels. And once it is installed, we can find it in Ubuntu application, and we can prepare the list of accession, barcode numbers in Excel file and save it as .csv format. And besides this barcode, we have retroconversion other aspects also, like there is a need for retrospective conversion in which historical background, what are the standards for retroconversion, what retrospective conversion means, what are the different options of it. We will discuss a little regarding all of these things. Let's first start with retroconversion and its meaning, what does it mean and how they can help us. Retroconversion is the process of converting the existing manual catalogs of a library into a machine-readable format, adopting specified standards. It's a major component of the library automation process. The reason being, there are only new libraries which starts with born digital documents, or say for example, just after purchasing printed book, we prepare their catalog directly in ILMS software. But most of the cases, libraries are old, and the collection of the old libraries are mostly available in printed catalog forms. So retrospective conversion of the library catalogs is one of the most challenging tasks faced by the library professionals, and it is very vital before we undertake the retrospective conversion. Why retrospective conversion is essential? First of all, the purpose and the importance of retroconversion can be meant for local, regional, national and international perspective. The local perspective is to create a local database for library automation purposes. That is, the institution itself can make use of it. It is very important to create machine readable record of the catalogs, because unless it is machine readable, users cannot get access to it easily, and users cannot find it from their home also unless it is made web opaque. So either it is opaque or web opaque, we have to convert it to the machine readable form. And unless and until the retrospective conversion is being done for the items of records available in the library, the automated library application may not get introduced. So the rosy picture of automated library system largely depends on this retroconversion. To provide better efficient services to the library users, once a retrospective conversion project, if it is undertaken by any library, there are improved service to the users through this automated circulation system and online access to the library catalogs, which saves the time of the users, SDI services, and to improve the performance of internal library operation. That is, the time spent in card filing, changes made in the catalog cards, that can be saved, and a lot of time can be invested in some intellectual activities of the library. And ultimately, to eliminate the cost of the simultaneous functioning or parallel system, because we have to maintain the card catalog as well as the digital or machine readable catalog is quite costly for any library system. So it is very much essential to keep both the traditional card catalogs as well as the machine readable catalog in the computer systems. So it becomes a hassle for the end user searching for one part of the collection in printed form, another part in digital form, and so on. So it's essential, it becomes really a very important work to incur the cost for it, and running the parallel system should be avoided. Protection of the library data is also a part of retroconversion. The reason being, it is done in the library because the data is stored in machine readable format. Available at the offsite becomes secure from any natural calamities including fire, flood, etc. Nowadays, say for example, in cloud computing, in cloud usually we maintain our database, so the catalogs, even if it is lost at our local end by flood, fire, that also can be available from them. Or even we can maintain the backup regularly. Development of specialized products and information repackaging is also possible with the help of retroconversion, because this information can be repackaged in various formats like the serials catalog, and again some compilation work is required for union catalog. Regional, national and international, again there is some significance for retroconversion. Once the retrospective conversion is being undertaken in the libraries, it helps in the creation of information resources which could be utilized at the total regional level, national level and also at the international level. The data created in the machine readable form in various libraries can eventually help in the production of the creation of union list or union catalogs. Union lists can be easily maintained if available in the machine readable format. A number of libraries contribute their records. Easily they can merge it and prepare a machine readable catalog for that. To promote the rationalization of resources in the today's world of library automation, if the library holdings are automized and available through the databases and network, it is available to different centers of the organizations throughout the nation, probably everyone would be benefited out of it. To share it and to facilitate the mutual understanding among different libraries, the data like class numbers, accession numbers, etc., probably one library professional, if they have some doubt about a particular class number, they can share it from other library, and that's why the retroconversion is one of the very significant aspect of our present day library automation. Another very important aspects of our retroconversion is associated with circulation or use of it. Say, if it is, we find that the kind of collection in a library which is heavily accessed and used by the users. For this purpose, the circulation statistics can be generated easily, and the staff looking for the circulation desk or the general staff awareness can be approached for finding out the particular collections which are greatly in demand in the library. So, which collection is mostly used and which collection is less used, that also can be identified. The period coverage is yet another important parameter for gauging out the possibility of selecting the resources, which depends on their date of publication are being used. If it is seen that the number of transactions are being carried out from the material published during the last 10 years, say for example, it will be appropriate to first convert the records published during the last 10 years and then converting them into the machine readable form. So, slowly we would have the total collection retrospective conversion can be implemented. What are the different standards for retroconversion? In the retrospective conversion, different projects have been undertaken, and it is very essential to adopt the standards. Unless anything, some benchmarking or standardization is there, neither we could share their data nor we could contribute in that project. So, retroconversion must take into account the standards like the record format and the structure, descriptive part of it, and subject cataloging standards, classification schemes, and also the authority control. However, we must keep in mind that another challenging task of the library professional is to take into account the standards being previously used and to find out how these older records which do not conform to the currently used standards are to be handled. So simultaneously again two standards, because the earlier standards might have become redundant. So at the cataloging level, what we do, different levels of cataloging are being implemented. Some of the libraries maintain only title author catalog in their online databases, but the libraries must have as complete bibliographic records as possible, since it would facilitate better and effective searching in the process. So searching with the help of the retrospective converted data and the bibliographic records carry more information further, and that's why upgraded into the fuller bibliographic records in the future upgradation of it. Like AACR2, one of the standards which are maintained in different libraries, even AACR2R also is there, revised version of it, and that's why the library has to be, the description of the library catalog should be in a widely used cataloging code, that is during the process of retroconversion, it is encountered that the records catalog before 1981 would be cataloged according to pre-AACR2, that is AACR1 or earlier catalog. But after 81, we find AACR2 records are there. So simultaneously, we have to convert from the AACR1 record to AACR2 records. What is the use of MARC format in this case? MARC is machine readable catalog. In the present day, the library and information networking, with the exponential increase in the published information and the shrinking library budgets, it is the call of the day. It is a demand of the day. The resource sharing is essential. That's why MARC standards need to be followed, and nowadays the de facto standards is MARC 21 all over the world. So any retroconversion project that must take into account whether it is following a MARC standard or not. Use of subject access system, another important aspect of it. Subject access is one of the main component of a bibliographic entity, and that's why a standard subject headings following a thesaurus or keyword system should have to be maintained properly, and the version of that particular standard like LCSA, INSPEC, MES, etc. medical subject heading, MES stands for medical subject heading, should be maintained. And classification system also should have a specific standard, a specific class number of a particular system that has to be embedded into the retroconversion part of it. That is class number along with the version of that particular schedule has to be maintained. And finally, we will come to the different aspects of retroconversion, that is process of retroconversion, assessment of existing records, what records yet is available for retroconversion, selection of the conversion method. We have already mentioned whether manual, semi-automated or outsourced. Outsourcing, when if it is given, we have to judiciously decide the cost of it, then data entry and verification. Verification is one of the significant part of it, and then after finishing the barcoding part, again we have to best practice we have to maintain, that is pilot projects we have to take, standardized formats to be followed like we have mentioned in the earlier sections of it, like class number, machine readable catalog, AACR, subject headings and so on. And we have to train our staff regularly so that the updated knowledge, updated version of all these machine readable catalog formats, they have to learn. Like MARC 21, when it has been introduced, how to implement it in our authority file, as well as how to implement it in different sections of it, that has to be learned. At the end, the differences of FRPR, functional requirements of bibliographic records, also to be maintained properly, but the future prospects of RFID technology, radio frequency identifier, and also artificial intelligence based catalog management based on the recommender system of different organizations are also coming into the arena, and slowly in future probably we are going to get an environment where retroconversion would become much more streamlined and easier. Here are some MCQs for the learners. What is retroconversion in libraries? Different options are given, and creating new catalog records manually, converting physical books into digital formats, transforming manual catalog records into machine readable formats, adding barcodes to library items, of them transforming manual catalog records into machine readable formats is the right answer. Which of the following is not an objective of retroconversion? Retroconversion is basically create digital catalogs, ensure data consistency, print new library cards, support online search and retrieval, and print new library card is basically the answer to it. What is the basic aspect of retroconversion? Its use and its utilization largely depends on successful implementation of the retroconversion projects, either with the help of barcode or RFID technology or the future recommender system AI ML compliant technology. The retroconversion is going to play a very vital role in library automation process, and the success of libraries largely depends on the successful implementation of the project of retroconversion.